for maybe a couple fights, was dominant at junior middleweight, but has jumped went as high as light heavyweight to beat a very good fighter. And he not only beat him, he stops him, knocks him out, and gets absolutely no credit.
What's good, Danger Zone Boxing Talk? It's BC Left Hook coming to you tonight with a special edition of the Final Bell. We apologize. We didn't have our show last Friday, so we thought we'd come on tonight. My partner was supposed to join me, but I don't know. He might have fell asleep. But luckily, I reached out to the old head. I was kind of worried, fam, because I was like, it's past dark, man. He might already be asleep, but
yeah.
But no, I'm blessed to have one of my longtime friends on Facebook here, Bo Bland.
That's right.
Bo, you want to tell everybody where they can follow you at and find you on social media and all that?
Well, man, hold on, man. First of all, let's do this right. This is Three Kings motherfucking boxing old head right here, baby. That's what the fuck this is, all right? This is Three Kings motherfucking boxing. Joining my man Malachi to do this motherfucking show, because we gonna talk some serious motherfucking boxing, all right? But yeah, man, y'all know y'all can find me, Three Kings Boxing, where you get the latest grades, what's going on in the sport of boxing. No beta males, niggas. No beta males, man.
And shout out to 2K the Gods as well. All right, tonight we got a special guest scheduled. Hopefully he'll be on with us about 9:30. But life happens, so if he doesn't make it on tonight, we'll reschedule it for later. So let's kick it off. We're going to start off with the Showtime card. We had the first fight, Ennis versus Abreu. What'd you think of that fight, Bo?
You know what, man? Here's the thing, and I know a lot of people are going to get on Boots because they're going to say, well, Abreu really wasn't anybody and, and all of that. Listen, we all know Abreu was pretty much like one of those, Abreu is what you would call a journeyman.
Yes.
You see, you know what I'm saying? So he is what you would call a journeyman. But the reality was Boots was able to do something nobody was able to do, and that stopped the dude. That alone is worth talking about and worth mentioning. Now, does he need to step up level of competition? Yeah. But I definitely like the fact that he was able to stop the guy. That's number one. Then on top of that, how he went about stopping him, he broke him down. You know what I'm saying? Then when Abreu tried to turn into a brawl, Boots had no problem with brawling, but he stayed smart to the game plan. Body, head, combination, quick movement. So he didn't allow the game plan to get away from him. And he didn't rush it. He didn't rush anything, and he let the knockout come to him. Now, the only knock that I would have on him is, I think sometimes Boots can get caught up in, because there was a lot of times I saw the kid admiring his work. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of times I caught him admiring his work. I think he'll have to, kind of slow that down a little bit. But outside of that, man, I think personally for me, I think it's time for him to step it up. I think it's time for him to challenge one of the top 50, somebody ranked in the top 15, or even a former world champion. He definitely needs to target another former world champion if he wants to get if he really wants to get everybody to believe that he's ready for that next level. Kind of like what Virgil Ortiz and some of these other guys are doing, man.
Agreed. We had previewed the fight coming in. I said that I never had thought of Abreu as anything more than a fringe contender, not even a contender. He was always a guy that you would beat to become, to get up there, to get that fight that would make you a contender. I didn't really learn anything. I'm really high on Boots, just as most people are, and I 100% agree. I think you were 26 fights in. It's time for him to fight a top 10 fighter. So after that fight, we had King Tug in a quite interesting fight with what was the kid's name? Breedy. Did you catch that fight? What'd you think of that fight, man?
The thing about it was Breedy came out looking like Timothy Bradley's cousin. You know what I'm saying? He came out looking like Bradley's cousin. Then on top of that, I thought he was related to Bradley when he did the whole roll up from being knocked. When he got knocked down, he did the whole roll up and shit. I was like, oh damn, he really is related to Timothy Bradley. And then King Tut, and this is kind of the problem with King Tut, kind of like actually what happened to him when he fought Gary Russell. King Tut instead of him stepping on the gas, because clearly you saw that you had a dude in front of you that you can beat, knock out. I don't know, for whatever reason, man. He's, I know during the press conference we spoke to him. He said that, I think he said he had some having ankle injuries against the Russell fight. But in this fight, I don't know what happened, man. He didn't stay on the gas with this kid. And he wound up going 12. I think they wound up going the distance. So a lot to be desired there, because after you see a guy get knocked down twice, fans are thinking, oh man, it's gonna be a short night, and he should have made it a short night. So I don't know what happened. I think King Tut's gonna have to. He's a good fighter. I definitely think he's a good fighter. He's got championship material written over him, but it's something mentally he's missing for me.
I think for me, because I actually picked Brady to win the fight. I think in our show, and me and Rob, just because based on the matchup, I think a fighter that's gonna like move and is athletic and has some quality speed is always gonna give him problems and make him hesitant. What we've seen now. Brady's not anywhere close with the hand speed or skill level as Gary Russell, which is what we saw with the 2 knockdowns. But I think that type of fighter that's willing to do that is always going to give King Tug some issues, just, in my opinion. All right. And moving on, we'll talk about the main event. Lubin and I hate this saying this Gashua.
Man, listen, Terrell, just call that nigga, just, just call that nigga not, just call him not going to do nothing, Terrell,
But that was an interesting fight for me. I thought Lubin won. I thought he got lucky. I think, what was it, the 10th round? I thought he got lucky to get out of the 10th round. I believe that's the round he got hurt, and and I like Lubin. I think he's a quality fighter. Then I think he's got a couple things to his game that is high quality. But I just don't think he got enough to F with Charlo. I think he fights Charlo again. It may go longer this time, but I think the outcome's the same.
All right, man. Let me say something here, man. Is this like a PG channel or PG-13 channel, or you like on some spiritual trip?
No, sir. You go ahead, man.
All right, no, because you was like F with, and I'm like, what the hell? The fuck am I listening to?
No, he's not gonna fuck with Charlo, bro.
You know what, man? Here's the thing, man. Lubin, guys who will make you want to watch them, like Teofimo Lopez. I still believe that Lomachenko beats him, but you know why I want to see the fight? Because of the way he blew out Richard Commey. So when you have a blowout performance like that, you're gonna, like, even if people don't think that you're gonna win, they're gonna want to see it because they're intrigued. Like, well, damn, you blew a guy out, you knocked him out, you on a roll, you hot, right? So you got to do things like that. And as much as we talk about Gennady Golovkin's resume, because his resume is trash, but at least he was getting the dudes out that shouldn't have been in the ring with him. He was running over him, so I give him that. If Lubin wanted to make a statement, kind of like Boots. Even though we look at Abreu and say Abreu ain't all that, but Boots got him the fuck out of there. So that's why you talking about, yo, man, maybe he's ready for a top 5 dude or whatever. Yeah. Lubin, you're going for the title. This is a title eliminator, dog. Yeah. You're going for the title. You trying to make everybody believe that what happened to Charlo was a fluke because you got knocked out in the first round. He should have went out here and ran over Gaja. Instead, he damn near got himself knocked the fuck out in the last round by Gaja. You know what I'm saying? So it gives people the thought process that Lubin is still going to lose to Charlo. Now, I do want to remind people that sometimes this is boxing. You can look horrible in one fight, then go into another fight and look your goddamn best. But it doesn't help from a mental aspect that here's a dude in Gaja who has been, he has seen that level being in there with Trout and being there with Lauder. But here's a guy in Gaja you went the distance with and almost finished. Like you said, you got lucky to get out the 12th fucking round. So, like, if it had been the 5th round and he survived that and beat the dude ass, that's one thing. The reason why it's a mental thing is the 12th and final round, you're going back to the locker room saying, damn, I was saved by the bell. See what I'm saying? So that doubt stays in your mind going back to the locker room, leaving the fucking building, going home with your bitch, going home with your team. That shit is in your mind. Like dog, he probably was sitting in the car and this girl was giving him that look like, this nigga. This girl probably was giving him, hold on, man, hold on, I'm gonna turn my camera on because I want motherfuckers to see. His girl was probably looking at him like, how you turn the camera on? Let me see.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Here you go. All right. Let me turn the camera. Get my camera. This girl probably look at him like, yo, sorry ass. So yeah, man. I think at the end of the day, for me, I'm not confident in it all. Period. Especially if Charlo has a excellent performance against Rosario, or if Rosario have an excellent performance against Charlo, I'm not confident in Lubin's ability to beat either one of those guys after what I saw, man.
I agree totally. Let's go to our comments. It looks like Clarence McLean's on the feed. What's up, Clarence? You can follow him over at Clarence McLean Promotions. You can search them on Facebook. He said Charlo destroys Lubin again. He came back with he can't fight that way with Charlo, and I think he said you're a trip, bro. All right. I haven't got my text yet from IP yet, so we'll move on. We'll do a couple topics. Well, our first topic tonight was Dillian Whyte and the Povetkin rematch announced. I was a little bit surprised about the timing of that. I thought they would have Dillian a little bit. I think it's what they say. Is it November, December? I don't remember the date Twine was supposed to. He's the one who put the topics together, and he fell asleep. But,
you got to let that go today, baby. You got to let that go, man. Let's let that go, man.
So, anyway, the rematch was announced. I was a little bit surprised. What do you think? It's too soon for a rematch after the way he got knocked out? It was a bit of a flash knockout for me. It was not like he took a pounding. The fight. He was actually winning the fight, in my opinion. And then he just got caught with a flash knock. I mean, it was a brutal one, but you know, I mean, I thought there was some type of, in the United States, if I got knocked out, I had to wait a certain amount of time before I could go back into the ring.
Nah, I think you got to understand. Eddie Hearns is Eddie Hearns is turned into the king of rematch clauses. You know, You fight one of his guys, like you could fight one of his dudes on a domestic level. No, I want a rematch clause. Like he's the king. like that was just for a fucking, you know, that was for the Oceania belt. Yeah, but we want a rematch clause. You know, he's the king of that. Eddie's the king of that shit, man. Yeah. But I'm not surprised that Dillian Whyte is going into a rematch, because the reality is this: number one, if he takes any other fight, it's going to look bad for him. That's one. Now, if you really want a title fight, or if you really want to be in the hunt for the championship, you're going to have to take that fight. You're going to have to win. Now, the only thing is he's going to have to wait a whole nother year, which opens it. Man, listen, let me explain something to y'all, man. Eddie can say whatever he wants. In Dillian Whyte's face, he felt bad, right? But in the bathroom, that nigga was on the phone like, yeah, Bob, Frank, yeah, man, and Anthony Joshua, and that's a few years ago, y'all. Yeah. Oh man, the bathroom, he was like, yes, he was all up in the bathroom. He was going crazy. Yeah. But at the end of the day, though, man, if I'm Dillian Whyte, you got to take that rematch, because it wasn't like you said, he was getting beat. He actually was winning the fight, and he was doing good. I think what Dillian learned is when you finally fight dudes on that level, because Povetkin is still a top quality guy, right? It takes a little bit more to finish them. You're not just gonna knock them down and finish them. You're not gonna do them like you did Lucas Brown or Derek Chisora. No, when you fight guys like that, you need a little bit extra. And I think the fact that I think Dillian may have even been Dillian was gassed. I think he put a lot into trying to knock him out, got gassed, got lackadaisical, and just, did what he always do, which is he lost focus, and that was it. You know, and he capitalized on, and Povetkin capitalized on that. Now, the only thing that I would worry about if I'm Dillian, and if I'm people around Dillian, is first thing I'm gonna do him. I'm gonna say, man, we gotta teach you how to protect your chin, because it is obvious when you get one on your chin, my man, your ass is almost out of there. And if you've been following Dillian's his fights, you know that like nobody should be surprised it happened to him, because Oscar Rivas almost had him out. Remember that in the last.
Yeah.
Joseph Park almost had him out.
Yeah.
In the last round, right? So a guy like Povetkin, who has the experience and a much harder puncher, I wasn't surprised it happened. So if I'm Dillian, I'm going into the rematch, but I think Dillian, they're gonna have to turn him into a pure boxer. He can't try to be up and in close with Povetkin if he's thinking about winning, man.
Yeah, I agree. Says more comments. Ray Teflon, he said, I think that Lubin fights so scared he surprises himself and everyone watching. He suffered a bad knockout last time out. Bet your ass he's not trying to have that happen again. I think he's just a technical boxer. I mean, I think that's just his style. That's who he is as a fighter. And, sometimes people don't like that style, and sometimes people do. Sometimes people watch it and they think it's a fighter fighting scared. I'm not saying your opinion's wrong. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think Lubin's he's just a technical fighter.
I think the thing with that is, I think Lubin in that moment, in that fight, realized it was so much on the line that he didn't want to take the chances he should have taken to get Terrell Gazi out. And I think it was more on his mind of what's at stake and what he could possibly lose, instead of being on his mind, hey man, I'm Erickson Lubin, I'm a hard puncher. Terrell Gazi ain't nobody to me. I'm getting this nigga the fuck out of here. And that's what should have been on his mind instead of the other thing.
Okay. Clarence said White almost died. This rematch, bad idea. If he dies, he dies, in the Ivan Drago voice.
I mean, that's true. But the reality is, as a fighter, like me personally, as someone that used to, as a former amateur fighter, as a fighter, I expect you to want to even get knocked out. I expect you to want to get back in that fucking ring. And on top of that, you wasn't losing the fight. You just, you know what I'm saying? You just got caught.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Agree with that. And so moving on, we'll talk about something that happened in the sport of boxing. I found this story quite intriguing because the parties involved, De La Hoya and Canelo, their relationship, So word came out that the Canelo lawsuit was tossed out. So apparently, Canelo didn't have any legs to stand on in the argument. So it looks like Canelo's going to have to take what they offer him in the fight that they give him. I just, the only thing in the whole situation I don't like is how misinformed people are. It's not that Canelo was ducking everybody. He was willing. He wanted to fight Billy Joe Saunders, and who's the other cat over at BT Sports? He was Callum Smith. But DAZN told him basically, no, these aren't premium fighters. And then I heard where they were actually looking at a Khabib fight. Like, he's a premium fighter and Billy Joe Saunders isn't. That, like, I get the money thing. They're trying to get their investment back, but some of the Canelo hate is it's out of order. But Canelo does bring it upon himself too. With trying to. I don't blame him for trying to fight for that WBC strap. It was vacant. It's not his fault. Homeboy said 2.8 pounds ain't enough. Ain't his fault. But he could have picked a better opponent. And you know what I mean? And nobody would have complained. Anyway, I'll pass this on to you because, you're not as nice to Canelo as I am. So I understand what we're about to get.
Here's the thing about it. I'm not saying it's his fault that David Benavidez did the whole 2.8 thing, right?
Yeah.
My problem with it is, why wasn't you interested in that when David Benavidez had that fight? Now, mind you, super middleweight, we heard three names. We heard Caleb Plant. We heard Billy Joe Saunders. We heard Callum Smith.
Yeah.
They never mentioned whisper. I don't even think them niggas whispered. David Benavidez. I don't think them niggas whisper.
I'm just gonna say he had a fight scheduled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying they didn't even whisper David Benavidez, right?
Yeah.
And he gets stripped, and all of a sudden you throw your name in the hat to fight for that belt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the reality is this, man. DAZN wants some of the money back that they invested. They gave this dude $360-something million, and it was 11 fights. And I remember doing the show with my man Prodigy 2K over there at Three Kings Boxing Talk, where I said 11 fights, nigga, he got to fight 5 or 6 killers. 11 fights, you got to fight 5 or 6 top dudes. If 11 fights, you see what I'm saying?
All right, I'll send it over.
Hey, yo, get that over. Get that over ASAP. Let's get him in here. But 11 fights, 360 million, 11 fights. No, you got to fight some killers. I'm sorry, dog. You can't give me fucking what's the dude name? Oh my God, Canelo. I'm fighting Canelo. Oh my God. What was his name? Ryder? What was that dude name? Not Ryder. What was his name?
I know you talking about
Rocky Fielding.
Yeah,
Rocky Fielding. I think, yeah. He's, oh my God, Canelo! Look, honey, look, kids, it's Canelo. You're not getting your money back fighting him. You didn't get your money back fighting Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not getting your money back fighting a Kovalev that everybody know is done. That's not doing it, right? And then and on top of that, let's point something out too. Remember when it was Charlo? They was talking about some, how Charlo turned down contracts and everything, but when it came to Eddie and his guys, Eddie like, well, wait a minute, man, Mike, you can't offer us less than market value. We know what market value is. Eddie was like, no, I know what market value. Y'all got to pay me the dollars, right? So, he ran into that, and of course, he wants to fight for WBC, and DAZN is like, man, we not paying for that, which is why I think the purse bid has been delayed, because the DAZN is like, man, we're not paying for you to fight no motherfucking Eubank, a nigga that got knocked out, I believe, in the first round of the WBSS tournament. You know what I'm saying? We're not paying you to fight this motherfucker. We'll pay you to fight Smith or Saunders or something. We ain't paying you to fight him. And I think Canelo wants to fight certain fighters. I think Canelo knows who he wants to fight. I don't think he's scared to fight anybody. I think it's just about Oscar has a plan for him, and I don't think that's jiving with Canelo and what he wants to do, man.
Yeah. Hey, EJ, I sent the link, bro. Check your messenger. All right, so EJ should be jumping on in a second.
Oh, it's about to get crazy.
It's about to get Hey, by the way, yo, did you? So we have Rob from shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing, by the way, a great show if you haven't watched it. We had Rob on here from the other day. This guy had the audacity to tell me that anything under 130 pounds didn't matter. I was like, yo,
I need to be on that show that day.
That's my guy. Shout out to him. But yeah, we're gonna debate.
I need to be on that show that day. Oh man, I wish I'd been on that show that day. You trying to tell me so Roman Gonzalez, when he was number 1 pound for pound, didn't matter? You trying to tell me Juan? You trying to tell me Juan? Actually, those guys, those where you get the best fights. Those where you get the top names. You know what I'm saying? Those, you don't hear nothing about these niggas talking about, you know what I'm saying, contracts and money and dates and all that. You don't hear that shit. The only time you heard it is when Roman Gonzalez, and I agree with him, when he said, hey, man, I done fought 3 killers in a row, man. Y'all got to up the dollars. Y'all want me to fight one more killer. And I agree with him on that. Like, you went through a hell of a gauntlet, nigga. Push the money out. And I agree with him on that aspect. But you come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You got Juan Francisco Estrada, Rumverside, CP Freshmart. Like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Angel Acosta.
That's you know what I'm saying? And he even admitted, bro.
No, we know he
even admitted. I was like, so you're telling me, like, you know that there's guys down there that have a lot, more skill than some of these big guys. And he's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, so how can you say they don't belong in the pound for pound? And he was like, he didn't have much of an answer about that. It's funny. But so I'm waiting to see if EJ, I sent him the link. He said send the link.
Where'd you send it to? You sent it to him on
yeah, he said his laptop loading.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. We'll wait on him. Yeah, I think Ip seen the link. He said he'll probably see my message here in a minute, so Mike will probably jump on at some point too. We did a little interview with him, get some information about that. What do you think about this fight with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson?
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you. I think Jones better be careful because Mike is out here, with these training clips, and I'm gonna let my man EJ, if he gets in, I'm gonna let him say how it is with these 1.7 speed increase training clips, man. Mike looking to take somebody's head off. There he is.
Yes, and it looks like that we now have 2K to God with us. 2K, what's up? Want to tell everybody where they can follow you?
Man, fuck where they can follow me, man. Y'all already know where y'all can follow me at, man. My man got the goddamn 3KB sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? Go to 3kingsboxing.com. Y'all already know what it is, man. What's good, Malachi? How you doing, brother?
What's up, fam? I'm good. We were sitting here talking. We talking about the Canelo lawsuit. I see you wanted to jump in on that. Is that what you wanted to jump in?
Well, hold on. Before he does that, I want to do my Twine impersonation. All right, go ahead, man.
Hell nah, bro.
Hey, you can't leave your boy hanging. You can't do that.
Man. You don't do that over here, man. Not at Three Kings, bro. That's a no-no.
Hey, that's automatic dismissal.
Automatic dismissal.
All right, go ahead. You can't be taking now. Can't be talking about my co-host, man. My man.
What's up, man? What was y'all talking about, bro?
Well, we was just talking about the Canelo lawsuit getting dismissed, and I was asking Bo what he thought about it. I gave my opinion. I don't know if you heard it, but you can give us yours.
I mean, it's exactly what Teddy Atlas and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers, even Dwyer, man. I don't know if y'all know Dwyer, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. Shout out to him. Even he said, you know what I'm saying, the lawyers were amateurs and, it was a dumbass pursuit of what they tried to pursue and all that. At the end of the day, man, I'm gonna say something that might be unpopular opinion, but I think this is a good thing for Canelo, bro. Let me tell you something. You can't bite the hand that feeds you, dog, right? Canelo Alvarez is the recipient of a hell of a lot of gift decisions, man. I mean, this nigga is the recipient of a gift majority decision loss. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know what I'm talking about Floyd. That was a gift loss. You see me? It should have been a unanimous decision, Floyd 120 to 108 type of victory. You know what I'm saying? But the motherfucker got one judge to say it was a draw, family. CJ Ross, who, by the way, has never judged again in professional boxing since that fight. You see what I'm saying? So if he's getting gift wins and gift decision losses, bro, that tells you the type of backing that Golden Boy is and what they've done for Canelo Alvarez. I've said several times, fam, Canelo has probably the most he's got the most coddled career that I've ever seen of a star fighter. You know what I'm saying? And my 20 plus years of covering this sport. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a fighter get coddled as much as Canelo Alvarez and have the kind of backing and gift decisions, or at least not even decisions, man. Just a nigga walk into the ring and he's already up 5 rounds on you, dog, and y'all ain't fought yet. You see what I'm saying? Just because of the backing that he has. I have not seen that at any point in my 20 plus years of covering boxing with any fighter. Now, a lot of older motherfuckers might be able to tell me, well, this nigga had this and this nigga had that, like Sugar Ray Leonard, for example. They'll say that he was like that when he walked into the ring with Bo's favorite fighter, Marvin Hagler. He already had 2 rounds up. But that still doesn't, to me, compare to how Canelo Alvarez can fight any fucking body, man, in any weight class, bro, and still already be up 4 rounds, bro, before they even throw a punch. And the reason why this is like that is because of Golden Boy. It's not Canelo. It's because of Golden Boy. A lot of motherfuckers don't know Golden Boy got a lot of clout in this game, man.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, think about it. They lose all their fighters to Al Heyman, all of them gone, right? They lose the partnership with Richard Schaefer, gone. But even though that has happened, they have still managed to build Canelo into the big name fighter he is today. They still managed to do that. Why is it? It's because of the clout now, man. And they're getting ready to do it with Ryan Garcia, bro. So to be quite honest with you, while I do think Canelo can easily be a free agent, right, and leave Golden Boy, leave the zone, motherfuckers are going to be rushing at the gate. Showtime's already doing it. They're like, shit, this on y'all. I don't want the motherfucker. We'll take him, right? Yeah. They're going to be rushing at the gates to get Canelo. At the end of the day, bro, I don't think he will have the business backing behind him if he leaves Golden Boy. And to be quite honest with you, that's when you might see this motherfucker lose.
Mm-hmm.
See him losing to Billy Joe Sanders and a Callum Smith for somebody in a close fight, right? You could see that happen if he doesn't have that Golden Boy backing behind him. So this might be a good thing for him, man.
You know, it's funny you mention that because I could picture if he leaves Golden Boy in the zone, I could picture him, boop, boop, and that's all these entities backing that bank truck up to that nigga's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what, though? You have a point. Canelo Alvarez, if he leave the zone and Golden Boy, he could become what Gennady Golovkin is now.
Yep. Exactly, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it like I said, it was some fucking some amateurish shit. But at the end of the day, bro, Canelo really needs to be careful about biting the hand that feeds him if he wants to continue to be this invincible figure. I mean, listen, Canelo's a guy right now, dog, that everybody, you, my man, Malachi, my man Bo, myself, and anybody else, and even the cat that's coming on, Mike Hammond, we all know, right? When Canelo's getting ready to fight somebody, we all know that, hey, this motherfucker, the nigga that's fighting him has to knock him out. We all know this. Because if it goes to the fucking scorecards and it's Canelo, more than likely Canelo's going to win that damn fight. We know this. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the kicker though, bro. Canelo got a granite ass chin. You're not just going to knock this motherfucker out. He's got one of the best chins in boxing.
Yeah.
So now he's got the backing of Golden Boy that makes sure he gets all the right decisions. And then on top of that, you're relegating these fighters that have to knock this motherfucker out. He's damn near invincible at this point in time. So he shouldn't fuck with his shit right now. He should just stick with Golden Boy and do what he do, man.
Yeah, Canelo's the only fighter that can get a knockout draw. He can get knocked out and still get a draw.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Exactly, bro.
All right. So, well, we're pleased to have Mike Hammond. Mike is a fighter, an amateur fighter that he's in the camp with Roy Jones Jr. As Roy gets ready for Mike Tyson. Mike, you want to tell everybody where they can follow you, whatever? How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How y'all doing? It's glad to be on, man. You can follow me at IP Man on Facebook, and you can follow me at Gifted Hands 229 on Instagram.
Absolutely, and shout out. I got one of his T-shirts. It came
Yeah.
scarf. I like the color, man. Anyway, so let's get into it. How's the camp going?
Good, man. Rough and rugged, man. Rough and rugged. This camp has been real amazing, man. It's definitely been actually one of the toughest camps I've been to. I've been to a lot of different camps. I haven't been to camps with Errol Spence, but this camp here with Roy is definitely quite different, man. Like I say, it's just the hours and consistency that he put on, man. Just we drenched in sweat and pouring down, man, before we even put gloves on. Just doing repetitive footwork drills and movement and things like that. And like I say, just the little things, man. We're working with Roy. It makes a big difference, man. And for this exhibition, I know, like you say, I mean, when you got Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, the word exhibition don't even fit in with it. You know, of course, they're gonna go in there and treat it like it's a fight. And a lot of people think that, Tyson just gonna go in there and pretty much just run through Roy, man. But I totally see something different.
Really?
I'm a big fan of both. I love both. I grew up watching both, man. It's a blessing to be in this camp, like I said before. I remember playing with both of them on a video game, and just to be in camp with them, man, just a blessing come true. But me being in there sparring with Roy, and it's just seeing the knowledge that he have, man. He's so smart. He have you thinking at all times, and you definitely got to be on your game. Even if Tyson do get in, we all know he's an inside fighter. He gonna come forward. Even if he do get in, I still think he gonna eat 2 or 3 of them. He gonna have to.
so we should expect a in shape, fast, athletic Roy is what you're telling us.
Yes. One thing for sure, he definitely gonna perform a lot better than people think he is. I definitely can say that. He's even from when I first got in camp to now, he's improved a lot. He's there.
Okay. Either one of you got a question you'd like to ask Mike?
Go ahead, Bo.
Hey, man, so your nickname. First, I want to start with your nickname, Gifted Hands.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, with a name like that, man, you better be one bad motherfucker when I see you turn pro. I'm just going to say
Of course.
You better be one. When I watch your first pro debut, I better say, that's a nickname that's deserving.
It won't last long.
All right, okay, that's one. Let me ask you something, man. Secondly, man, when you spar with Roy, man, is that nigga wearing flip flops?
No, no.
Because he wear flip flops every fucking thing, man.
Everywhere he goes,
everywhere, man. Everywhere. Even to some of his fighters fights, that Joker get in the ring and he do the interview. He got on slides. You like? No, he had on shoes. All
right, so there's a backstory history a lot of people don't know about. I don't know how much you know about it between Roy and Mike Tyson. They was talking about meeting once upon a time when they both was professional fighters. Now you're looking at this, right? Is Roy taking this like it's an exhibition, or is he taking it like it's a fight? Because the thing with Mike Tyson is there's no such thing as an exhibition with Mike Tyson. He doesn't know it. If you look at this, as my man Prodigy points out, 1.7 speed up videos, Mike is looking to come and knock Roy Jones out. Because the reality is Mike can't look weak. He can't even get beat by a Roy Jones Jr. Right? Even though he's 54, he can't allow that to happen. So when Roy is in there training, man, is Roy well aware of what to expect from the other end? Because Tyson is not going to come in there looking like, trying to look like it's exhibition, let's have fun. It's always business with that dude when he's in the ring, man. Exactly.
I agree. I feel like Roy gonna take the same approach. Like I reiterated before. Even though it's an exhibition, I definitely feel like they're gonna come with that same energy, man. Even when I got in there and sparred Roy, it was no filling out. It was getting there, get straight to business. He tried to knock me out. And on top of that, he's sparring young prime time type pros and giving them good work too. Giving them real good work. Okay. And as far as cardio, his cardio is definitely there. I'm not concerned about him gassing out or getting fatigued or anything like that. It's gonna be an interesting fight, man. You know what, Tyson, that come style for, Roy with the counter punch and the flashy combinations. It's gonna be definitely something to see.
Okay. Also, man, I want to talk because listen, man, the last thing to go on any fighter is his power. That's the last thing to leave. Mike has the power. We all know Roy. We all know Roy's chin got some dents on it, man. How confident are you that Roy will be able to take a punch from a Mike Tyson, man?
I think he actually can. If it's an 8-round exhibition, obviously, I feel like if Roy can get him get past the first 5, I feel like he'll be in pretty good shape. My opinion, I feel like Mike was always a front runner, very dangerous, but a front runner. We all know Tyson is very dangerous early, so I feel like if Roy, do what he's doing, stick to his game plan and not get caught early, I think he'll be in a good position. Because even if you go back and look at all the fights that Tyson actually lost, he lost in a later round, and I feel like fatigue was a part of that.
Okay. All right, man.
The last time you was on the show, you had said that.
Hold on, man. Let Prodigy get his questions in, bro.
Go ahead, Malachi.
I didn't know you were going to ask.
Go ahead, Malachi. You good?
Okay, I'm gonna ask one, and I'll kick it over to K because I didn't know if you was gonna ask first. So the last time you was here, you said that your style is more similar to Canelo's, I believe. Is that right? So what did you do to get down that Mike Tyson form in the ring?
Oh, like I said, me being a 165 pounder in the amateurs, I rarely get to box people my height, so I have to be an inside fighter anyway, someone like a Sean Porter, Mike Tyson type. So coming forward, actually no problem to me. Then being the fact that Roy's actually taller, I was actually able to adjust pretty quickly. Being able to go to the body, move side to side, it was wasn't too much of a big thing. I heard y'all bad talking my boy Canelo too when I got on.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna change.
That's my favorite fighter, man.
We don't have no favorite fighters.
I love Canelo.
We don't have no favorite fighters, man. So anybody can get it, man. It is what it is. If that person need to be criticized or praised, we don't have no problem doing that shit, man. It is
True
what
that.
Man, all right. So what I'm gonna say, what I wanted to ask was this, man. Look, man, I ain't got no faith in this fight, man, at all. You know what I'm saying? I think it's an exhibition, but I think it's a money grab. Now, I could say that. I know Roy. You know what I'm saying? Played ball with Roy and shit when I tried out to go overseas. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell him that I said that shit. But I think it's a money grab. I don't think I honestly don't think Roy Jones is gonna go in the ring with a Mike Tyson, right? Knowing that this is a Roy Jones that got knocked out by fucking Enzo Macronelli not too long ago. Is gonna go in there against Mike Tyson and they're gonna actually fight. Basically, I mean, these niggas is old, so it's to the death almost. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that, man. And if they do it, and if this is the case, man, this is a bad decision in my opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Given how many times, I mean, Roy's been knocked out 5 times. Given the amount of times that he's been knocked out, like against, of course, Enzo Macronelli was the last one. The one before that, I believe, was Denis Lebedev. Denis Lebedev was really bad. Like Roy was my favorite fighter as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that, I was like, fuck, man, this dude's got to retire. He's got to retire now. So if, like I said, that video of that 1.75 sped up, you know what I'm saying, Mike Tyson hitting the mitts and shit and accidentally hitting his trainer in the most recent video he had, right? Yeah. If this shit is real, I don't want to see this, Mike. Real talk. Like, you could tell me right now, you could be like, man, Roy look good. He's beating up these young niggas and all that. But that's not what I'm saying when I see him fight somebody like Enzo Macronelli. You see?
That's true.
So how do you feel? Like for you, that's my take. That's how I feel. How do you feel when you're in there sparring with Roy? Do you not have any concern for the fact that Roy is the age he is and the things that's happened to him? And then you look at Mike Tyson. We all know how crazy Mike is. Do you have any concern at all for Roy's health, man, his well-being?
That's a good question.
Not from a skill perspective, but from a maybe a physical or strength perspective. Okay. I feel like Tyson's got strength on his side. He definitely the bigger guy. Well, I can't say he's faster. No, I can't say he's faster. Roy got the speed on his side, but as far as a fighting standpoint, as far as skill, like I say, as long as he don't get caught early, I feel like he'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah, I hopefully it's scripted. That's all. I
don't know how. Now those fights he's got, those camps when he prepared for those guys that knocked him out. I don't know about those camps. I can only speak on what I've experienced. From what I've experienced and what I've seen, he looks pretty good. He took a few punches very well. They of course they obviously wasn't Tyson punches, but he took those very well, and he came back. His legs was up under him. His legs are pretty good. He moved very fluently, and his cardio was going through the roof. But it definitely will be interesting. Okay. And I feel like leading to those knockouts, I feel like a lot of people think that it's gonna be like a money approach thing, but I think that's what's gonna kind of make it special. He's looking to shock the world.
Did he make any mention to you that he's looking to turn this into somewhat of a career comeback, or is this a one-fight deal?
I think it's more of a one-fight deal. I actually asked him behind closed doors. I asked him what he could, like, if he was to get through Tyson, would he consider B-Hop? He said, "Fuck no."
Yeah.
He said,
I don't blame him.
He said, much as I would love to fight him, and he said, as much as I would love to fight him, and I can't stand him. He said, "Nah, I probably wouldn't do it. Nah, I wouldn't do it no more."
I wouldn't blame him.
But it was a rumor I heard. I heard some about Evander Holyfield and Antonio Tarver was possible.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Antonio Tarver's been trying to come back for years now. He's never, I mean, he's been doing a lot of training and stuff like that, but he's always been talking about coming back. He's just been looking for the fight. So I haven't heard that, but if that's the case, that doesn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we already know Evander's coming back. So yeah, that don't surprise me at all, man. And actually, I got Evander losing that. Have y'all seen Evander, dog? Now that nigga's video looked like that shit was declined in speed, nigga. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker punching at like minus 1.8, nigga. I'm like, hold on. So Mike Tyson was sped up and Evander was slowed the fuck down, man. Like, look, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I love this sport, dog. I love this sport, dog. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, fam. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nobody get hurt, dog. I mean,
that's what I'm worried about. Is say Mike goes out and God forbid he destroys Roy, but should he do that? I'm thinking in Mike's mind, that's telling him, you know what? I really can go knock out fucking Deontay Wilder, and I'm gonna go fucking prove it.
I believe he'll give him hell. I don't know if he'll win or not, but I believe he'll give him hell. I honestly do. For at least 4 to 6 rounds. I believe he'll give him hell.
Listen, fellas, I'm gonna say something, and I said this shit to my staff. You know what I'm saying? And Mike, if you don't know, I'm the owner of 3kingsboxing.com, and my man at the top right is one of my writers. He's actually my spokesman, one of my head of public relations. So I've said to him and the rest of my staff on numerous occasions, fam, that the way the way Mike Tyson has been pushing himself, like with these videos, and he's beating up these bags and he's beating up these pads, and everybody's like, oh my God, Mike Tyson at 50, I think he's 52 or 53, at 50 plus years old, he's still the young Mike. Oh man, I can't wait to see this motherfucker. He can't go in there, bell rings, and throwing jabs and moving around and shit. He can't do that. People are gonna be like, "Oh man, you know what, man? That Mike Tyson was on some bullshit, man. Fuck Mike Tyson. I ain't watching this nigga no more." They're gonna do that. So he really can't go in there, jab, jab. Let me move to my left. Jab, jab. Let me do this angle to my right. He can't do that. He's really got to go in there and show people that he is still the young Mike Tyson. Yeah. So that's what Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And when you're a fighter of that magnitude, and when you put in all that work and knocked out people in the fashion that he did, the expectations are going to be very high.
Exactly, family. Yeah. And Mike Tyson hasn't made any kind of decision. Actually, this is what he said. He said he wants a heavyweight tournament. This is what he said. Yeah. So he's not talking about, one fight with Roy and I'm out of here. No, he wants to continue. Yeah. So if he wants to continue, he needs to go out here and fight like how he used to fight. Well, shit, if he fights like how he used to fight, I'm afraid Roy might get knocked the fuck out the ring on some goddamn, what's my man, Nigel Benn shit. They're going to be laying on his back like Nigel Benn, dog.
I seen Rotman.
I seen Rockman versus Oleg Moskayev twice, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about that, Mike. You know, I just don't see it going any other way unless this shit is scripted. I just don't. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, bro. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I might not even watch the fight, dog.
Well, you know, the thing about Mike Tyson, this goes back to your point, is this. Mike Tyson has been viewed, even all these years outside of boxing, as the most ferocious, fearless, baddest man on the fucking planet. A guy like that can't go in on a scripted dance, jab, grab, move around. You can't do that, dog.
Because hey, remember the exhibition he did with Corey Sanders when they had the headgear on?
Yeah, I remember.
They was booing him.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that.
He knocked that motherfucker down and caught him before he hit the ground. Picked him back up.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Mike's going for that again.
Man.
Did you have something? You have a question you'd like to get in?
No, I do want to ask you this, man. What is it that you've learned differently from this camp fight, being in there with Roy Jones, different than when you was doing your camp as an amateur fighter? Because it's now you're seeing what it takes to be at that level, which is that professional level now, right? Now you're getting a taste of that. Now you're in there with a former, undisputed light heavyweight champion, a guy who's going to go to Hall of Fame. Now that you're in there with that, the process of learning, the degree of difficulty, you're seeing it at real time now. What is that like for you?
It definitely changed the way that I approach the sport of boxing, man. Being in there with Roy, being a two-time national amateur myself, and getting in there and getting hit with shit I don't normally get hit with. It definitely changed the way I approach the sport of boxing, and just that mindset. When I get in that ring, man, I feel like I deserve to win, but at the same time, I know I got to win. Because I train harder. I did all the dirty work, being in there with Roy. Like I say, man, every second in there, he got you thinking and wondering. sometimes he, like I say, man, he's so fast. His speed is so exceptionally fast to where Roy can be 5.5 feet away from you, still lunge and catch you with a leading left hook.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's
That
still there.
experience.
I was like, wow.
That experience.
I mean, it's that yes, exactly that knowledge he have, man. It's crazy.
Let me ask something real quick, man.
Sachi won't even think he'll land. It's like, wow.
Let me ask something real quick before we move on. Forget about the Roy Tyson fight. I want to know, Mike, when you look at boxing right now, right, and the divisions that you're currently campaigning in, right? Who do you look at and be like, man, I could take this motherfucker out out of the top 10 guys? Who do you look at and be like, I'll take this motherfucker out, man?
That thing that I can beat?
Yeah.
I think I can beat Jamel Charlo.
Ooh, that's what's up. I'm not big on Jamel. Neither one of them, actually. I'm not big on Jamel or Jamal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think if you can, because you said you got fast hands. That's your nickname. What's the nickname again? It has to do with fast. Yeah. Here's the deal. If you got that jab and you know how to judge distance well, which you should be learning with Roy Jones Jr., right? You got that jab, you learn how to judge distance well, right? And you're able to keep Jamel Charlo in front of you. That motherfucker gets frustrated. So that's the game plan right there.
Yes. Just like he got frustrated with Tony Williams.
Yes, sir.
Tony Harrison, I meant.
Tony Harrison and Julian. He got frustrated with Julian Jackson.
Yes, sure did.
That's
John
true.
Jackson.
That's true.
John Jackson, not Julian. John Jackson. So yeah, I like that, man. That's what's up. Jamel Charlo. What about Banana? Jason Rosario.
Oh yeah. He's a good fighter though. I think I could take him too.
I think there's one fighter that would give you some problems, man. I think Nathaniel Gillimore.
Stop, Bo.
Man.
I just reached out to Nathaniel to come on.
Oh man!
Wow.
Tell him it's no holds barred. You gotta know it's no holds barred, Malachi.
No, you didn't know. I wonder, how do you think you would fare against Eslani Lara? His legs are not what they used to be, but he still has that pedigree, that Cuban pedigree.
Right.
I like Lara. I hate that he got robbed against Canelo though. I'm a Canelo fan, but I thought he won.
Mike. I like him already, bro. I liked him before he said that, but I like him a lot now, bro. See, a lot of Eslani Lara won that damn fight. I had the scorecard 117-111, dog. I thought Lara won against Canelo.
Yeah, I'm a real one, man. I mean, that's Canelo, my boy. But if I feel like you lost, man, I'm gonna be real with the people, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, then. Well, I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you. Do you think Erickson Lubin is ready after what you saw Saturday?
It's kind of hard to say because he did look good, but the guy he fought, Galasha, whatever his name is, he wasn't doing nothing though. It's like he couldn't find his rhythm. He like I said, the fight didn't start until the 8th round. It was they ain't start the box till then.
Yeah,
but see, Charlo and Charlo, I think Charlo gonna try to go in there and get busy right off the jump. He ain't gonna wait like that. And Lubin, and to me, Lubin and with Lubin, I feel like his chin is suspect too, because that guy had him hurt in the later rounds too. He caught him with a crazy shot. It was like an overhand or something, and his legs buckled. If that would have been Charlo, it might have been a short night.
I said earlier, it appears to me that Lubin fought as if he knew he had too much on the line and wasn't trying to take no risk. And that's what it looked like to me when I saw him fight.
You're right. Both of y'all are right. Both of y'all are right. Because I fell asleep on that motherfucker.
That knockout from Charlo, that knockout he got from Charlo in that first round, that changed the way he approached his fights. He cautious the whole time.
Man, I was knocked the fuck out, drool out my mouth and shit about round 4, nigga. I woke up around 9. Round 9, I was like, oh shit, nigga, I done missed 5 fucking rounds.
Nigga had to change his shirt.
That fight was boring, man.
Hell yeah, it was boring, man.
Yeah, I didn't come away.
That was a boring
thinking,
fight. That fight.
I don't think the outcome with Charlo's any different. It might last longer. I think he'll probably jump back in. I don't think that the outcome's any different. I think it might last longer because of the way he's fighting now. But
I agree with that, Malachi. I think it lasts longer. But he still fucks around and gets knocked out.
Yeah. Agree. Mike, you might stick around with us. We're gonna talk. We got 3 more topics to go over. You want to stick around and talk them out with us? Can you hear me?
What's that again? Say it again.
So we got 3 more topics to go through. Do you want to stick around and go through them with us? Talk some boxing.
Okay, sure.
All right. So the rematch between Jessica McCaskill and Cecilia Braekhus has been, I believe, confirmed. I'm very excited. I kind of thought Braekhus won the first fight, just in my opinion. I probably like her to win the rematch. We'll start with Bo. What do you think of the fight, and who do you got in the rematch?
Well, first of all, you didn't properly introduce her. The greatest fighter from the city of Chicago. The greatest fighter in the Midwest.
Because y'all ain't got nobody, nigga. Montel Griffin. Y'all got Montel Griffin is y'all Hall of Fame. Montel Griffin, y'all Michael Jordan, nigga.
And he beat Roy Jones.
No, he did
beat
not.
James Toney. Yeah,
what happened the second time, though? Hey, what happened the second time? And what happened to the rematch?
Exactly,
I didn't watch that fight. It was fixed. Roy paid him off.
What happened in the rematch?
Yeah, that was bad, man. That was bad, man. Hey, yo, you know what? I don't even lie. That rematch, motherfuckers looking. It was women. The hoes was looking at Montel in the club like, yeah, nigga.
You can't even buy me a drink.
Exactly. Damn. Y'all wrong for that shit, bro.
But
damn.
You know, the thing about it is, I don't have faith in Cecilia Braekhus winning this if she's going to have Abel Sanchez in her corner, because that's actually what you saw. What you saw was a Cecilia Braekhus that was trying to fight an Abel Sanchez fight instead of fighting a Cecilia Braekhus fight. I'm not surprised by what we saw in that fight, because the reality is she is getting older. She is getting a lot of slower. We saw it in the Kelly Reese fight when Kelly Reese was able to catch her, and I think she knocked her down once and she wobbled her the second later on in that fight, right? So she's not moving the way she used to, but I thought that if she didn't have Abel Sanchez, she had the experience and she had enough of her legs, right, to actually do better against Jessica McCaskill. So if she's going to keep Abel Sanchez in her corner and going into a rematch, I don't necessarily have any faith in it, because even she said herself that she actually felt that maybe it was the judges that didn't know, that wasn't familiar with her fight. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, you didn't fight over here enough. Motherfuckers know what the fuck you are. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, I think this gives McCaskill confidence only because now she's the champion. So McCaskill can go into this fight just thinking, listen, all I got to do is do enough to make it look like she ain't doing nothing, and I can win, right? So at the end of the day, I'm glad she took the rematch, because I didn't like what I heard from her after the fight. I didn't like that at all. That's not what you should say to me. If that's how you feel, that's fine. I'm not saying don't feel that way, but you shouldn't say that, because if I'm the fighter that beat you and I hear you say that and you talking rematch, I know I'm gonna whoop your ass. And I guarantee you that's what Jessica McCaskill was thinking right now.
You talking about when she was talking about retirement, right?
Yeah. When she was talking about she didn't know if she's going to take it. So if she's going to keep Abel Sanchez, I still like Jessica McCaskill's chances. And going into this fight, I want to question Cecilia Braekhus mentally, because this is her first loss in a very, very long time. So I'm questioning her mental stability. Is she doing it because she feels she's obligated to do it, or is she doing it because she's really hungry and she knows she missed out on a historical fight with Katie Taylor?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Really not too much to say after that. I agree with Malachi. I thought Cecilia Braekhus won the first fight simply because after the first 4 rounds, Jessica McCaskill started looking wild as fuck. She punching air. She got her back to Cecilia Braekhus after missing wild punches and shit. But the problem was Cecilia wasn't measuring her with that jab at all. Like, the jab barely even came out. And that's what Cecilia is known for, man. Outside fighting, jab, 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 straight right hand on occasion, but then continue to jab from the outside. That's why she only had, 9 knockouts and like 30 wins or something like that. That's what she does, man. But in this fight, she's sitting at mid-range to inside distance, trying to slug it out in a phone booth, or basically trying to go to the body at mid-range distance, which I don't have a problem with as long as you back up, right? Give yourself space and continue to do what the fuck you normally do. But she didn't do that. And it's because of Abel Sanchez, right? We got a confirmation of that looking at how Terry Norris ended up getting all fucked up later on in his career, right? Mm-hmm. Then in most recent days, you got Ryan Martin, the WBSS entry at 140 that lost to Josh Taylor. If you watch Ryan Martin before he fought Josh Taylor, he's an outside fighter. If you watch him after he lost to Josh Taylor, he's on the fucking outside. But against Josh Taylor, in which Abel Sanchez is in his corner, he's on the inside at mid-range distance. Ends up getting knocked the fuck out. You see what I'm saying? So now I don't think he would have beat Josh Taylor anyway, but he would have fought a different fight if it wasn't Abel Sanchez in his corner. So this is the same situation with Cecilia Braekhus, and I agree 100% with Bo. I like Jessica's chances to keep the undisputed crown if Abel Sanchez is going to be training Cecilia Braekhus. Now, the only thing that I can say is that she understands her flaws. She's watching tape right now. She understands that she needs to go back to who she is, and it wouldn't matter who's in her corner. She's still going to go back to who she is. You guys got to understand, she's been a champion since 2009 and was an undisputed champion since 2014. This motherfucker's been a champ for over a decade. So she knows what works for her, right? Mm-hmm. So regardless of who's in her corner, as long as she has her mental right and says, fuck it, I need to be the real first lady from 2009 all the way to now to get my titles back, she's going to do what she's known to do, and she's not going to care what Abel is telling her. That's the only way that I see that she actually beats her, with Abel in her corner. But as long as she takes his fucking advice, she loses again, fam.
Agreed. I was looks like Mike's having some technical difficulties, but I was surprised at the fact that she did let McCaskill on the inside and really rough her up in portions of the fight. But I still, like I said, I had thought she had won the fight. Well, it looks like I don't know if we've lost Mike or not. So there was also, we'll move on to our next topic. There was a report that came out this week that Julian Williams and Breadman had parted ways. I was a bit shocked by that because, you know, they saw some success together, won a world title.
Why are you shocked, Malachi? Hold on. You've been following my YouTube channel probably since its inception. I got the interview with Breadman in 2016, right after he got knocked the fuck out. J-Rock got knocked the fuck out by Jamal. Okay. Breadman said in that interview, he was talking as if he didn't give a fuck if he was going to be the trainer for J-Rock anymore. He was like, man, the motherfucker, I told him. He was cursing and everything. You know me, I egg a nigga on. Oh, for real? Hey, Brad, so how'd you really feel, dog? Man, this motherfucker.
The Manolos.
He wouldn't wear these kind of shoes. I told him, J-Rock, you got to get the Manolos. You got to get the Manolos, champ. And he wouldn't get the shoe. And then next thing I see Jamal Charlo walking out. Guess what kind of shoes he got on? I said, what kind of shoes he got on, Brad? He said he got the Manolos. So this motherfucker started saying shit like, oh, man, I don't care if I'm training him anymore. I still got real estate. He's saying shit like that on my interview 4 years ago. So I knew Malachi, when he lost the banana, I knew he was going to win. I knew it.
Okay. What about you? What do you think about that situation, Bo?
The reality was, if you was watching his moves, just watching Breadman's moves, you knew that the rematch wasn't going to take place. Breadman on social media was never talking about, nor was he posting anything about him working with J-Rock. He was doing his daily bread with his daily bread articles that he do. He was talking about other boxing things. He was talking about shit outside of boxing. So if you just watch his moves on social media alone, that gave me clues that, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, he was never talking about no type of talks, training, deals. Like, you know, he didn't even mention anything about, yo, we gonna come back harder. I heard none of that. It was like total silence about his guy, right? So I saw that. And I'm saying, man, something's going on. Then on top of that, you heard nothing from J-Rock. Nothing from J-Rock. Now, mind you, that pattern, we saw that same pattern with who? Jared Hurd. He was doing the same fucking thing, and he didn't take the fucking rematch with J-Rock. So I was not surprised because I saw what was happening, just what they was doing on social media wise. They wasn't together. There was no talking about it. Hell, there was not even coming out of PBC about J-Rock. PBC. PBC had, yeah, man, Banana's going to fight Charlo. That's what PBC was. PBC was not like, yes, we're talking to them. We're trying to do this. Like, what was it? Whatever, on the gloves, or whatever that shit is with Ray Flores, how they do a PBC. They didn't have a nigga on that. Nothing. They were just like, hey, like J-Rock wasn't even around no fucking more. So when I'm looking at that, I'm like, yo, man, it's trouble in paradise, something going on. Then I'm gonna go back to something 2K said. And Breadman, when he mentioned real estate, understand something, you guys. Breadman, when he mentions that, what he's saying is not money. You don't keep me around with money, right? Then if other things started coming to play, which if you go to 3 King Boxing, we talk about, Breadman felt it was other cats that was influencing him, and he's even said that. He said J-Rock listens, he has a lot of people in his circle that he listens to. That's why he didn't have the Manolos. That was a problem with him. That was a problem with him then. Okay, once you become champion, the doors open up, and it's like Roach Motel with motherfuckers, man. And when a guy like Breadman talking about real estate, talking to, having other things outside of boxing going on, he's not gonna stick around and see what the fuck the results is gonna be, man.
I agree. I actually follow him on Facebook, Breadman. Now that I think about it, it's been quite a while.
That's what I'm saying.
If
you look at his social media, you heard nothing from this nigga,
I just thought it was like the pandemic, but now that like this came out, I thought, you know what I mean? Okay. You know what I mean? All right, but lastly, last topic of the night, there was I find the story comical. Eubank Jr. made a call out to every champion in his division. I think he called out Canelo, a couple of them specifically, but basically every champion in their division. I can't get behind this guy, man. Like, I don't have no faith in this guy at all. Groves beat him, and I never was high on Groves. I just but he's a character, and I think he can fill some seats. Is there anybody you think he could compete with? We'll start with EJ.
At 160?
Yeah.
Nah, he can't compete with nobody. But let me say this. He can compete, but he won't win. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying? Really, Jamal should have fought him instead of fucking Dennis Hogan. I'm going to be real with you. Because he fought Matt Karabov, right? Had a close decision on that. And then Chris Eubank Jr. was on his way back down after that fight. He was calling Jamal Charlo out. I was like, man, they should have made that fight. Why the fuck is he fighting Dennis, Paul Hogan, whoever nigga name is? Why is he fighting him? I don't care about this guy. This guy fought at 154. He hasn't fought at 160 yet. So I was actually intrigued to see how Chris Eubank Jr. does against a guy like Jamal, who's Planet, right? He's actually been fighting downhill. The Matt Karabov fight was the start of it. He did look good against Dennis Hogan because Hogan wasn't ready for a 160 challenge, and he was a very small 160-pounder at that. But then he looked bad against Brandon Adams. I didn't like the way he looked against Brandon Adams at all. I was ringside for that fight for media as media. He didn't look good at all in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I was intrigued by the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Like, damn, I want to see him how he fares against this guy. Because Chris Eubank Jr., regardless of him losing the split decision to Billy Ho, and then he lost to fucking George Groves, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't stop coming, right? So how does Jamal respond to that, given how he's been fighting down to his competition as of late? That's why this Sergey Derevyanchenko fight is fucking intriguing as hell, bro. I think he could lose this fight, man. But that's a whole nother topic. At the end of the day, Chris Eubank Jr., because of his tenacity and the fact that he doesn't give up, even though he's not highly skilled, I think he can be competitive. But I don't think he can beat Demetrius Andrade if Canelo decides to continue campaigning at 160. Definitely gets beat up by him. I think he could fucking actually beat now. I think he gives Triple G a run for his money. Back then, when he lost his pen, he would have got knocked the fuck out probably in like 4 or 5 rounds. Today, right, the Triple G that arguably lost to Sergey Derevyanchenko and looked terrible against Steve Cinnamon Roll, at the end of the day, bro, he might fuck around and beat him. So against guys like Triple G and Jamal Charlo, that's where he needs to target his next fight at if he wants a big fight.
All right. Bo?
You know, the funny thing about Chris Eubank Jr. is Chris Eubank Jr. could have easily turned out to be another Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which is a kid that was raised with a legendary father that was privileged and turned out to have no motivation, no heart at all, period. Well, Chris Eubank Jr. isn't that guy. He's a gym rat in the gym all the time, constantly on point and staying in fucking shape. And like my man EJ just explained to y'all, that motherfucker he has tenacity. He comes at you. He knows the showboating game. He knows the entertainment side of boxing. He learned that well from his dad, right? Because Lord knows his father wasn't trying to fight no motherfucker. That's why James Toney blew him and that motherfucker kiss so tough.
Yep.
Nigel Ben. That's why.
Nigel Ben.
You know, but at the end of the day, I like Chris Eubanks Jr. as far as if he's going to fight somebody, you're going to tune in because of those factors. He has that tenacity. You know he's going to be in shape. You know he's going to keep coming at you. He has decent enough power. His skill set is low, but he has decent enough power to make a difference. Now, he's been working with Roy, and Roy went him flip-flops again. He's been working with Roy. So that could possibly help him. If anything, the number one thing he needs to develop is the jab. The dude is lacking that jab. But I think right now I got to agree with my man. If he goes to fight GGG right now, that would be an interesting fight for me. And I think he needs to target Gennady because he's right for the pickings. But I don't think he beats any of the champions. And actually, what we've seen from Charlo, I would give him a better chance against Charlo after what I just saw against Brandon Adams and what's the dude name? The greatest Russian amateur,
Matt Karbov.
Matt Karbov. I would give him a good chance to get them too. But Chris Eubanks Jr. is definitely somebody that can put asses in seats.
Yeah.
Only because of those things that we talk about.
Exactly. He's good for the build-up too. A lot of trash talk because you know his daddy's going to get involved in that too. Well, so that'll be the end of our show. I want to thank you both for coming on, man. Thank you, Bo. You answered the call, bro. I was like, yo, fam, my homie fell asleep. EJ just came along. He was like, nah, fuck that. Let me in. All right. Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the show, man. I hope to have you guys on again, man. Definitely, I follow their website, man. Love their content. I share it when I can. But if y'all aren't, go check out their website and can you follow your website or subscribe to your newsletter or anything?
Yeah, I need to go ahead. No, we haven't done that as of yet. We're kind of late on that, but just for now, man, just go to the Three Kings Boxing Facebook page. We put all our articles up on there. You can go directly on threekingsboxing.com. You know, we got articles and a lot of other things out there as well. So, but yeah, the newsletter thing, that's coming soon.
Awesome. All right, and DAZN Box Talk, we're out. Y'all have a good night.